Roger, what did you do?
It was just really a very close time.
Go for me, yeah.
Freddie found an amazing tranquility, and I never really heard him complain. I remember we went out one night, and he had horrible problems with his leg. And I think Freddie saw me looking at it, and he said, "Oh, Brian, do you want to see what it's like?" And he showed me. And and he reacted to my face, and he said, "I'm really sorry." He said, "I didn't mean to do that to you." I never heard him go, "This is really awful. My life is shit. You know, I'm going to die." Never, 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 never. He was an amazingly strong person.
The sicker Freddie got, the more he seemed to need to record to give himself something to do, you know, some sort of reason to get up. And he would make it in whenever he could. So it was quite a period of fairly intense work, actually.
You know, Freddie's becoming weakened by this horrible disease, and he finds it hard to stand up a lot of the time. But he'll throw a couple of vodkas down, and he would prop himself up on the mixing desk and have his mic there and go for it.
Roll camera, roll playback.
Sometimes I get to feeling I was back in the old days, long ago.
I can hear the voices getting thinner.
Things seem so perfect, you know.
I think you can really tell that it's an ailing voice. Although he hits the notes, you know.
The sun was always shining, we just lived for fun. Sometimes it's...
Roger started off writing These Are the Days of Our Lives about his kids and the way he felt about life and how it comes back. But of course, in that context, it had another meaning.
Those were the days of our lives.
He looked so ill, it was quite scary. And I thought that was a very brave thing to do, and why not, you know?
He spent hours and hours and hours in makeup, sorting himself out so it would be okay.
Those days are all gone now, but one thing is...
I did too many movements.
I think so too.
But I just wanted to see...
No, I know. I'm just putting my hand.
I still love you.
I just want to see this. It doesn't
Am I
look...
crying?
It doesn't look... I think it should be wasted. Do you know what I mean? I want a little bit of shape. I'll tighten it.
Yeah, I like the shape now.
Those days are all gone now, but one thing's still true. When I look,
Freddie actually kind of says a goodbye in that song.
I still love you. I still love you.
Innuendo. It was out on the streets, it was #1, and 2 weeks later they were here in Montreux, and they started doing more music.
And Freddie at that time said, "Write me stuff." He said, "I know I don't have very long. Keep writing me words, keep giving me things. I will sing, you know, and then you can do what you like with it afterwards, you know, finish it off." And so I was writing on scraps of paper these lines of mother love.
He was dying, and he did those things, and he knew he would be dead when they were finished. Because he said to me, "I'm going to sing it now, because I can't wait for them to do music on this. I'll give it to you on a drum machine. Give me a drum machine thing. They'll finish it off."
I don't want to make no waves, but you can give me all the love that I...
Every time I gave him another line, he would sing it again, and sing it again. So we had 3 takes for every line, and that was it.
I long for peace before I die.
Mother Love, I think, was the last one. There's an exceptional spine-chilling note in the middle. It's a fantastic bit of singing.
Out in the city, in the cold world outside, I don't want pity, just a safe place to hide. Mama, please, let me back inside.
It's absolutely spine-chilling.
And we got to the last verse, and he said, "Oh, I'm not up to this now. I need to go away and have a rest. I'll come back and finish it off, you know." And he never came back. That was the last moment that I had with him in the studio.
I went to see Freddie, and it was, in fact, the last time that I saw him. He said to me, "I haven't given you anything in my will. You're my executor. You can do anything with my legacy. You can do anything with my music, but never make me boring."
The last time I saw Freddie was Anita and I went round to see him, and he was in bed with the curtains open so he could see out into his garden. I think I was talking about things that were in his garden, saying, "Oh, look, that's really interesting, that's really..." And he said, "Guys, you don't need to feel like you need to make conversation." He said, "You know, I'm just so happy that you're here, you know, so even if we say nothing, it's just having these moments."
The worst thing was I was actually on my way to see him, and I was about 300 yards away when Peter Freestone rang me to tell me don't bother coming because he's gone.
It was me who wrote the little epitaph that's on his statue in Montreux, which just says, "Freddie Mercury, lover of life, singer of songs." To me, that sums him up because he lived life to the full, there's no question, with all that entailed. He was a generous man, a kind man, an impatient man sometimes, but utterly dedicated to what he felt was important, which was making music. We made the announcement that we were going to do a tribute concert to him when we felt that we could, to send him out in the style which he deserved.
We hope that a lot of you will be able to join us on April the 20th at Wembley Stadium for a celebration of Freddie's life and career. You're all welcome. Please join us. So we drew up a list of people that we'd like to be on the show.
Roger got the ball rolling. Roger got up one morning and said, "Look, we're doing this, right?" and made a few phone calls.
And Brian said, "Well, if you can get that lot, I'll go, I'll come."
Got a date, Wembley Stadium. Had to be Wembley Stadium, didn't it? Had to be. The scene of Freddie's greatest triumphs. A lot of amazing things happened.
And I'd like to offer something in a very simple fashion.
David Bowie spontaneously went into the Lord's Prayer, which was a surprise to us all.
For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Right. God bless Queen. God bless you.
Want to hit every single person. See every single pair of hands. 3, 4. Somebody to love. Somebody to love. Somebody to love. Somebody to love. Somebody. 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 Find me somebody. Find me somebody to love. Can anybody find me? Somebody to. Come on.
It was completely cathartic. It was like working out a bit of grief in a way.
Everybody,
And I remember just as we were coming off, Joe Elliott from Def Leppard put his hand on my arm. He said, "Stop, Brian." He said, "Just turn around and look at that audience and remember this moment, you know. Nothing like this will ever happen again."
The incredible thing is, it's 40 years since the band was formed. The band is probably as big as it's ever been, and yet 20 of those 40 years have been without Freddie.
We don't have John either, because John's chosen to be in a very different place. So for Roger and I, there is always that searching. What's lurking in the wings was all the material we'd done with Freddie, which was unfinished, and what were we going to do with this? Would we manage to make an album with it?
Made in Heaven was obviously different. It was very weird working with Freddie's voice coming out of the speakers. But Brian and I felt that we knew what Freddie would have been thinking. So we sort of got there, and I was very pleased with the result.
I feel like it was the right completion. It was the right album to finish up on. Once you've passed your initiation into being a rock star, it never leaves you. You cannot really stop having that feeling inside you that makes you want to play.
When we did the Paul Rodgers tour, it was great, actually. Paul's a great singer, completely different. It constantly amazes me to think that we were lucky enough to be in a great band, to have a great band together, and that actually people still like the music, you know.
Queen is such a stimulating, creative environment. There is really nothing quite that could live up to that. There was a perfect, creative hothouse that was Queen at its best.
One dream, one soul, one prize, one goal, one golden glance of what should be. It's a kind of one flight, all right, that shows the way. No mortal man can win this day. It's a kind of inside your mind, it's melody, the doors of time. These waves, they last 1,000 years. Will to me, will to me, will to me, will to me, will to be all. Fuck you.